All right, everybody. This is the GOATcast podcast for March 19th, 2025. Of course, today we're not doing a live stream. Just been really busy. There's a lot going on. So, fortunately, we can't get the group together tonight. But we're going to talk about March Madness, the biggest event for basketball every year. We get 64 teams. Of course, we get, 72, You have these play-in, not tournaments, but these play-in games that get you in, get you to your spot. They play it with the 11th seed and the 16th seed. So you get you a spot. You have to play in, though. And then we get the big dance, 64 teams. It dwindles down very quickly throughout the weekend, but you get a lot of basketball, a lot of interesting matchups. You get to see schools you don't normally get to see, different styles, all of the above. So we're here to break down our bracket that we allowed ChatGPT to fill out. So since, AI is taking over the world, they can go in, they can do their research, they can, search all these different pages at once. We thought, hey, why don't we let them pick it? And then we take on ChatGPT and allow you guys to come in here with us and take down ChatGPT, because I'm going to just say it. I don't think ChatGPT knows what it's doing. And we're going to hop right into this and see who they think is going to come out in these next couple of weeks and win the 2025 national championships for men's basketball. But really quick, for those that are having a fit about my UNC Tar Heels getting in, those West Virginia fans who think that they deserved a spot in the dance instead of the Tar Heels, I think we proved last night that we should be welcome into this tournament. And we know that there's some biases, and for the most part, the NCAA wants to make money, especially now that we have these NIL deals. These kids are making more money. These kids are, these colleges are having to spend money. They want the big wigs in there. They want the blue bloods in there. And obviously Carolina is a blue blood. Didn't have a very good season this year, but they ended strong. They were in the Final Four in the ACC. The ACC wasn't what it once was this year. Not really the best conference in the U.S., but a solid conference. Duke was really good. We didn't stand a chance against Duke all year. Had a little chance in the semis, but just couldn't get it done. Had some mental mistakes that kept us from winning that one and getting to the finals, where if we had gotten there, there would be no doubt that they should be in the dance. But either way, they're in the dance. Sorry to West Virginia fans. Sorry to, Indiana fans. We're there. So, business move. You can say what you want about it, but we're dancing. We're in the field of 64, and we got a chance. So with all that said, let's look at what ChatGPT put in their official Final Four bracket. You can see it through here. Some interesting teams. But what you'll notice is that it's picking a lot of the higher seeds. And for me, usually seeds 1 through 4 are usually a lock, I would say. But once you get to that 5, and of course to the 16, seeding doesn't quite matter. Some of those teams, styles, as we say, make fights. And some of those teams' style doesn't always transfer to the big dance. And teams that might be able to shoot three better, teams that are faster, that get up and down the court, might give teams that, of course, in their conference are great or good. But when it comes to different styles of having to deal with, they get exposed. So with that said, ChatGPT in its Final Four has number 1 Auburn, number 1 Florida, number 3 Kentucky, and number 1 Duke. And in the championship game, they have Duke and Florida, which I'm not too mad at. I can see that. That's, of course, if Cooper Flagg comes back and is healthy enough to be playing, long minutes and big minutes. And I could see Florida being the champion. You know, they've had a really good year this year. I think they're a solid 1 seed. So I'm not too mad at ChatGPT with that finals. But like I said, a lot of the top seeds got heavy favor from ChatGPT. And I'm sure they're looking at, you know, their records. They're just looking at the raw numbers. But as we know, those don't tell you nothing. You got to get to the nitty gritty. You got to watch these teams. You got to see what they do well, you know, what they don't do well, whether they shoot the three well, whether they, you know, they have a faster pace, where they have a slower pace, where they have a defensive team, you know, whether they have a heavily offensive team. You know, you've got to look at these numbers. If they're a big team, a tall team, if they're short, if they're a small ball type of team, you know, ChatGPT can't weigh in those type of things. And I'm sure it's going to show in this bracket, but it's AI, ChatGPT, the robot against us. So if you haven't done it yet, I will have it pinned in the comment sections. Join our group. Put your bracket up and let's see who can win this thing. Who can put out that perfect bracket? I'm going to say it's me, CW, but Big Nige is coming up here in a sec. So we're going to transition to that here in a second. But guys, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Help us reach that 300 sub goal. We're trying to reach it. We can't do it without you guys. We really appreciate you guys for helping us out.